welcome back to Cast and Blast. Today we've got a video for you that we filmed in Aiken while I was deer hunting. Coming back to the camper and heard something, looked over, and about a 7 or 8 foot black rat snake fell out of a tree. So I went over there and this is what I came up on. There's like I said, there's some graphic nature to this content that's gonna, may not be for everyone, but it was really cool to watch nature run its course. So I get over there and all I can see is this one squirrel just biting at the snake. So obviously it's got another squirrel wrapped up and constricting. So the squirrel that's out and going around came in from 2 or 3 different sides and would, just really just gnawing on this snake. It was really cool to see the protective nature and see the bravery or just instinctual. There's the little one kind of breathing his last. Now during that part you could actually hear some bones cracking and things. That snake was really putting the hammer down on him. And then so once I thought it was cool after I go back and watch the video, and now you can see it. As soon as that squirrel's vitals stopped, you could tell that was the end. The snake started to uncoil because the snake was being attacked still. So his nature is to try to take care of himself. So you see him uncoil and he starts striking. At this point I thought that the squirrel might actually, I don't know, I wasn't sure if the snake would actually try to constrict the other squirrel and have 2 meals. I wasn't sure, but it went on for a little while. That the squirrel kind of came in and out different ways, trying to still get in there to save its young, but it tried a few different ways. The snake was pretty on top of it, really keen on what was going on, and just kept that. It kept the little one constricted for a long time before it started to try to eat it. And I don't know if part of that was me being around. It was pretty creepy when that snake would look over at me even. The squirrel kind of lost interest after a little while. I think it knew what was happening. But that snake, when it eyeballs me, and it's hard to tell here, maybe the scope of, or the scale of the size of this thing, but it was a big snake, biggest rat snake I've ever seen. And she's coming back again. She came in a few times, but roughly by the time, I don't have any footage of it here, but by the time the snake was eating the younger squirrel, the older squirrel was back to gathering acorns or whatever, out foraging. Had already started kind of getting back into the instinctual drive of living and doing what it's supposed to do. You can see that blood on the snake there. The squirrel did a number on it. Lots of bites. You got Pop and Alex texting back and forth right now about a video that we just put out on Pop just put out on PJG Outdoors. It's the video from our Thanksgiving hunt. So what was cool, as he starts to eat the squirrel, it only uncoils. It's really, it makes sense, but it only uncoils as much as it has to, so that it retains control over it. So if something were to, if the squirrel were to revitalize, it would have still very little chance, because the snake was still constricting, anything that it wasn't trying to swallow, it still had in its grasp, which was really cool. But yeah, so Pop's just released a video today on PJG Outdoors of the Thanksgiving hunt, where he kills a decent 8-point, probably I think it's the best deer he's killed in 5 years. So it's pretty cool video. Go check it out. Yeah, it's cool how the markings on the snake stretch out. You get a lot of that white as it's stretched over the body of the squirrel. You can see all that blood on the snake. I don't know if you can see it. Just below the head, probably 6 inches down. I mean, there's that squirrel was tearing him up. And there's tons of flies already all over the snake. Later on, you'll be able to see some yellow jackets actually already trying to, I guess, eat the blood or trying to eat the snake while it's still alive. It's that time of year, when it starts to chill off and gets cool, but it's still hot during the day. Those yellow jackets are always out if you hunt at all or out in the woods at all during that time. You understand that. You see them out, especially if you kill a deer. They're all over the blood and everything. Shaky footage a little bit. Sorry about that. All right, so to this last part, you kind of get a scope of the length of the snake. Maybe not. Maybe this isn't the last part yet. I think this is where you can see a yellow jacket here in a few minutes or a few seconds. You see those flies all over. This whole thing took about 30 minutes to transpire. So the snake took a lot of time after, just kind of, I don't know if it was nursing wounds or just, kind of assessing, but it sniffed its whole body and kind of assessed all the different wounds where it had been bitten, I guess, just to see the severity of it. But it was kind of cool to watch that aspect of it. Here's a yellow jacket. I hope y'all like those dope sound effects. That's what I do. I think this is where he pokes his head up and looks at me, man. He pops his head up over those leaves. He was, 6 or maybe 8 or 10 inches off the ground right there, where he was just poking his head up, and it was a little spooky. I'm not terribly afraid of snakes. Here's he sniffing the wounds. Really cool. But no, I'm not terrified of snakes, but but when that one looked at me, it was like, man, its head was so big. Like, for a black snake, it was, like I said, it was probably an 8-inch snake. Or an 8-foot snake. And I think this is where he finally starts to crawl off, and just, as you follow, just looking at the size of that thing. Good grief. The mass at the end of its tail is pretty impressive too. This video sped up a little bit. It just took forever. It was taking its time. It was not afraid of me or anything else out there, but there's not many things that snake would be afraid of, I wouldn't think. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We really appreciate it.